Want to learn to speak Spanish fluently, but you don't know where to start? In this episode, you'll learn the secrets of goal setting to achieve fluency and how to make that happen. Vámonos.
Det var första gången vi möttes. Våra blickar bara möttes. Kommer du ihåg det igen? Kommer du ihåg det igen?
Are you tired of feeling like you're stuck in a language learning rut? Then it's time to embrace the power of goal setting and language immersion. Bienvenidos a Speak Spanish Now. Welcome to Speak Spanish Now, where today I'll be showing you some additional tips to help you reach your goals in speaking Spanish. We all know that learning a language can be a daunting task, but it doesn't have to be. So let's recap. So in our two previous episodes, we talked about setting goals. My job today is to share with you even more ways for you to achieve your goal of becoming fluent in Spanish. So today, let's take a look at two specific things that are going to make your journey to fluency a breeze. Well, how are we going to do that? Well, today, what I'm going to do is I'm basically breaking down the big picture into small, manageable steps. Speaking of management, we have to develop a schedule. That is one of the biggest things that we need to be able to do. Setting a schedule, right? Setting a schedule is probably one of the most specific things that we've talked about in previous episodes. So here you are, preparing to take on the challenge of becoming a better Spanish speaker in 2023. And I know that is super exciting, but sometimes that can translate into biting off more than you can comfortably chew. This strategy of setting a schedule is possibly the most important that will help you to avoid overwhelming yourself. All you need to do is make a chart or schedule of what you're doing and when you're going to accomplish those things on them. For example, por ejemplo, if we developed a schedule, and here I have week one of a schedule that I utilize with private clients, right? So week one of the schedule is going to go like this, basically. So lunes, Monday, we want you to listen to a Spanish podcast for 30 minutes. Just listen. Nobody's asking you to try to interpret anything. Just listen. What you're doing is you're training your brain and your ear to adapt to the language that you are listening to. So el martes, we want you to watch a Spanish language TV show for 30 minutes, okay? And I don't want you to choose something that you already know, like, oh, I know this movie, or oh, I know this particular TV show so well, I'm just going to switch over the languages. No, that's not what we're doing. We want you to watch this Spanish language TV show that you have never seen before. Why? Once again, we're training your ear and we're training your brain. All right. I don't want you trying to interpret what you know as far as words. You're just watching and listening, right? This is the week one. This is week one. El miércoles, Wednesday. It says practice speaking with a language exchange partner for 30 minutes. Okay, that language partner could be on your level. They can be a higher level than you. They can be intermediate level. It doesn't really matter. You just need to be practicing with someone. El jueves, Thursday, read a Spanish language news article for 15 minutes. Just read it out loud. Are we asking you for the comprehension aspect of it? Do you know what it means in English? Absolutely not. What you're doing is you're actually training your mouth and your tongue to enunciate and to pronounce the words in Spanish, okay? It's not about whether you can comprehend what you're reading. We're working on your pronunciation aspect. We're working on your pronunciation skills in Spanish. El viernes, okay? El viernes, we are going to review vocabulary and grammar for 30 minutes. Perhaps in the previous episodes, you saw where we talked about textbooks and readers, and you jotted down and you made a list of vocab or from those particular books. You're just going to simply review that. You can review it by looking at your notes. You can utilize technology, certain websites on the internet or on your phone. You can utilize those to help you with your study of the vocab and the grammar. Now, what I have for you, so if you like this type of schedule, I have a 12-week schedule available. You can get the link for the PDF in the description below. And that PDF is what I use with my private clients to kind of set them up on the path of greatness. If you're gaining value from today's video, go ahead and hit that thumbs up to let us know that this information is useful to you setting your goals for learning Spanish. I always talk about learning Spanish as like building a house. First, you've got to come up with a blueprint. Then you have to build that strong foundation for that house, right? So in other words, what we're doing is taking that plan, that idea, and bringing it to fruition. In other words, I like to say, make it happen, Captain, right? Bring it to fruition and make it something tangible, right? We want to be able to utilize this Spanish out in our communities or overseas, wherever you may be. So initially what we're doing is we're taking those goals and then we're going to build on top of them our foundation on a daily and a weekly basis. Goal setting is only half the battle, right? To truly take your Spanish to the next level, you need to immerse yourself in the language and the culture. Now, I know you see this playing on the screen. You're like, oh, you're talking about taking trips. No, I'm not talking about taking trips. Okay. Now, if you have the means to make that happen, by all means, absolutely do that. I want you to think back to when you were a kid and you first learned your native language. Picked it up as you were completely immersed in it, right? Language learning is made easy by that type of non-stop exposure. Everybody is talking to you in that particular language. Well, that's similar to what you're going to have to recreate on your own. So in other words, when becoming a better Spanish speaker, you want to set up an immersive environment. Most of us just can't jet set and take off to a Spanish speaking country tomorrow, right? But you can find ways to domestically immerse yourself right here at home. What this means is surrounding yourself with native speakers and other Spanish speakers, watching Spanish language movies like we covered in the schedule the example schedule that I gave you, reading Spanish literature, and even traveling to Spanish speaking areas in your community or Spanish speaking countries if possible. This is the key. Listen closely, lean in, right? The more you immerse yourself in the language, this isn't a secret, I'm just telling you, the faster you'll progress. I'll say it again because I want everybody to hear this, even the people behind you. The more you immerse yourself in the language, the faster you'll progress. So what you talking about, Profe Donomat, right? That's, what you talking about, Willis? Like, for example, in my ebook, I go in depth about various tips, strategies, and activities that you can incorporate to give you that sense of immersion right here at home, right? So if you need a kickstart on those strategies, tips, and ideas and activities that you can utilize, go ahead and click the link in the description below for the ebook and get your copy today. I guarantee you, not only will you utilize those strategies, but it's also got 4 banging introductory lessons that you definitely need to grab today. So go ahead and check that out in the description below after you finish watching what we're talking about here. So immersion, right? Immersion in Spanish. But we're talking about if you don't have the opportunity to go internationally, we want to focus on domestic immersion, right? That's the new thing that we're talking about here. So in other words, we've talked about setting a schedule, immersing yourself in the language in Spanish, right? So now we just want to finalize what we're talking about. So coming up next in this series, we will cover several realizations and little known facts you need to be aware of as you start your language learning journey in Spanish, right? Because some things are going to pop up like popcorn. Like they're going to try to get you off your path that you're trying to stay focused on, right? And so, you know how old people say, keep it in the middle, right? I want you to stay down that path of trying to get to your goal, which is to be, becoming a better Spanish speaker or becoming fluent in the language, whichever your goal may be. Always expect the unexpected, right? And so there are some things that may occur, but I want you to stay focused on your goals, right? You set a schedule, stick to that schedule. I promise you, you can make this happen in as little as 3 months if you stay focused on your goal. So don't wait any longer. Your time is now, right? And what does now stand for? No opportunities wasted. So how are you going to do that? There's some things that we need to think about, okay? So you want to choose your start date. You choose your start date. So how are we going to set this thing up, right? Setting your schedule or, planning your path to fluency or to becoming a better Spanish speaker. First things first, you choose your start date. And there's no better time than the present, right? You simply just have to punch fear in the face and get on your grind today for your Spanish language learning journey. Focusing on your goal of becoming fluent in Spanish is easily attainable by following this game plan. You'll be speaking like a native in no time. If you're gaining value in today's video, go ahead and hit that thumbs up. And also, if you are joining me for the first time in this video, I want you to watch the 2 previous videos in the playlist that come up at the end of this video, where I speak on setting specific and measurable goals and how to immerse yourself in the language and in the culture. So we covered that in the first 2 episodes as well as this one today. The biggest thing I want you to take away from today's video is don't let another day go by without taking action. I definitely want you to stay along with me on this journey to you becoming a better Spanish speaker or becoming fluent. We definitely have a lot of things that you can take a look at right now and some new things that we're bringing to you. If you would like to set up a virtual one-on-one consultation with me, or you know what you want to do and you want to go ahead and get started with personalized classes that cater specifically to your needs, make sure you use the email in the description below to get in contact with me today. El mundo es tuyo, right? The world is yours. And after the video, make sure you check out the video and the playlist that I have here set up for you to get started on your language learning journey. Soy Profe Don Omar. Nos vemos.